15 minutes gone here at Farley Way. Coventry United and Quorn still deadlocked at 0-0. As Lewis Ison goes for the Rory Delap style long throw. Out comes Macmillan, claims it. And Quorn wants to get underway quickly. Launched down the right hand side. Tong quickly closed down by Musa, who wins it in the air. Who will get the seconds? The answer is Jake Holt for Coventry United. The ball deflects off the shoulder of Musa, who'll keep it in. Now Elaine, who's back to Gorman. Downline to Valance. Sends it up the left flank. Cairns will give chase. Rydquist returns the ball safely to Macmillan between the sticks. Strolling away is Tomlinson, wants options. Who will provide one? Dropping back is Richmond. Howard. Now Tomlinson, Tong calling for it on the right. Rolled into the midfield and Maslin Jones. In it goes from Maslin Jones, looking for Hart. A little bit of a barge there from Lewis Ison, taking Hart off his stride. But Quorn will get the corner put behind by Jamal Clark. And heading over to take the corner this time is the number 8, Maslin Jones. United keeping Cairns and Elaine up front for a potential counter. Quorn look to ensure that a counter will not happen. And put the ball in the back of the net. In it goes. Head towards the net and rolls off the chest of Richmond into the waiting hands of Bunn, who quickly distributes up the other end of the field. Tomlinson heads across his own defensive area. And a bit of a shove from Dom Elaine, taking out Howard from behind. Free kick on the right side of the Quorn penalty area to the home side, taken quickly by Rydquist. Dale. Rolling upfield now is Morris. Straight to the feet of Jamal Clark with that punt. Richmond behind, trying to dispossess the United skipper. Forced back where he came from. Returns to Brendan Bunn. One swift right boot later, it flies over the head of both Cairns and Rydquist, and a free kick against Cairns for launching himself into the chest of Rydquist. Now Macmillan back onto it. 18 minutes gone. We haven't really had a clear-cut chance for either side. And United games can often be slow burners. You get the action in the end. Ison tries to volley away in the penalty area, and Hart scores, but the flag was raised on this near side. Quorn with the ball in the net, but it will not count. Ison tried to volley clear, can only send it high into the sky, brought down and put through for Hart, who had made his way past the final defender before the ball was kicked. Well, best chance we've had of the game so far, and unfortunately it's been chalked off. So it remains at 0-0. Correct call, I must say. Haddo. Through for Cairns. Sent behind by the hands of Macmillan. Finally a clear-cut opportunity for the Red and Greens. Macmillan saying, not today. This clean sheet's mine. Heading across to take the corner on the left-hand side, Jake Holt for Coventry United. Near post run by Haddo. Heads to the far post and Jamal Clark. Clark gets his head on it. That's another one for the windscreens to worry about. "20 minutes gone here at Farley Way in the Total Motion Midland Football League Premier Division. Quorn 0, Coventry United 0. Macmillan's seen more of the ball than anyone, although he hasn't really had a save to make apart from the one that he's just had to keep out from Cairns. And Holt sticks a leg in, diverted out of play. He feels that he should have had the free kick there, but the referee says no. And swiping into intercept is Joe Cairns. And again, there's McMillan, his gloves keeping Cairns at bay, and another corner kick. So it's Holt on duty again. Cross goes to the far post and headed into safety by Morris. And Tong clears with a punch up the left flank, but Downs brings it down for the Red and Greens. Looking for Haddo on the edge of the penalty area. Dale clears as far as Rydquist. Right as a makeshift winger, sprinting up from centre back. Tong sends it through, looking for the run of Maslin Jones with a little too much power on that one. Ball placed by Bunn. It's really been a battle of the midfield so far. Our side really want to put their foot in it. There it goes from Bunn. And a free kick as Morris received a barge in the back from Joe Cairns. High foul rate for the Red and Green so far. Well, we're about halfway through the first half time. Certainly flies when you're having fun. McMillan on the edge of his area. Morris. Dale offering support. He'll go back with McMillan. Gorman calling for it on the right flank. Now Rydquist. First time pass by Maslin Jones. Now Gorman. Hart tracks back and plays it back to Maslin Jones. Lovely free-flowing football from Quorn. Dale looking for the run of Tomlinson down the left-hand side. It won't reach him thanks to Haddo sending it out for the throw. Quick thinking from the United winger. But here come Quorn again. Into the centre circle it goes with Rydquist. Cairns breathing down his neck, and there's a lane. That should be a Coventry United throw in. Indeed it is. Gorman couldn't keep it in. Final touch coming off the boot of the Quorn captain. And Vance looking to get the move going again with the throw in just into United's half of the field. Throw up line over the head of Gorman. Over the head of Elaine, I should say. And a free kick as Musa is fouled by his opposite number 4 in Nathan Dale. Hope with the free kick. Downs and Vance remaining back. Everyone else in and around that box hoping for that crucial touch to send it in. But they won't get the chance as McMillan rushes out and claims it. Now the counter begins with Tong, swiftly followed by Elaine. Usain Bolt, eat your heart out. What a run this is by Tong. Squares it. And despite Holt stretching for it, it's Maslin Jones charged down by Vance. Will get a second crack at it. And this time denied by Brendan Bunn. Maybe a third effort here coming for Quorn. And Tong stabs his boot into the ground and it flies over. Quorn with a fantastic opportunity, 2 fantastic opportunities with Maslin Jones. The first one didn't make it past Ben Valance. The second one spurned away from Bunn's net with the gloves. And Bunn's kick skews to the right and headed into touch by Morris. It fires over one of our fans' head, and he loses his cap. Didn't quite make contact with the ball there. There goes the throw, brought down by Cairns. Barnett punches up the right flank, and Haddo claiming a high boot. But Morris got his boot onto the ball and clears it the second time of asking. Looking for Hart, brought down by the head of Jamal Clark. Downs can only give it away. Slotted through for Tong. And it's headed in of the Coventry United defender, but it will be Tong's goal. Flicking it over the head of Brendan Bunn. I think it was Ice on the line trying to keep it out, but to no avail. And Quorn on 25 minutes take the lead at Farley Way. Tonga's been a menace down that right flank today. And it's a fantastic start for Quorn. It's been a midfield battle with neither side really pulling ahead. But they do have the lead now, thanks to Tong. United kick off 1-0 down. I don't think it will be the battering that United received last time they were here, although that goal scored by Ryan Palmer that day in the 7-1 defeat did win the Goal of the Month trophy. So it looks like this game's going to be a lot closer than that one. And United far from out of this. Barnett on the halfway line, right hand side, playing right back today, of course. Misguided pass picked up by Howard. Tong charged down by Vance, but Howard back onto it. Now Tong again on the right hand side, over run being made by Gorman, but now Rydquist ducks away from Joe Keynes, and Gorman will play it out to the centre again. Morris brought to feet by Tomlinson. Nathan Dale. Patient play at the back for Quorn, just keeping it in their possession. We got a shirt pull there on Lewis Ison by Maslin Jones. And well, a rather unflattering response by Maslin Jones, but you could quite clearly see he did have hold of his shirt. Downs looking to open up some space in the midfield. Asking, where are my options? He was nearly caught out there by Tong again with his squared pass, but luckily Ison was there to pick it up. In the centre circle it goes. Downs wins the header. On the ground with Musa, back to Downs. Jamal Clark drills it upfield, straight to a red shirt. Poor control though, and in goes Musa with a sliding challenge. Now Elaine. Barnett making the run down the right-hand side. Tries to control. Turns away from the challenge, slides in to keep it alive. Musa couldn't reach the seconds. Determination of plenty for the Red and Greens, but they couldn't make it stick. Now Hart threads it through. Oh, and it was so close to reaching Ryan Richmond. At the last chance, the ball was brought to the feet of Jamal Clark in the penalty area. A millisecond later, and we could have been talking about a second Quorn goal. Cairns. Haddo. Now Dom Lane. Couldn't find his way past Howard. Now Howard rolls it right. There was a trip by Lane. The referee gives play on. Stabbed upfield by Maslin Jones. Here's Tong. Gorman offering an option further down line. Gorman with a cross. Ison tries to clear. Didn't get the relevant contact on him. It was diverted behind by a Quorn man. And clearly wasn't ready for the ball. Let's get some latest scores from Leagues 1 and 2 if we can. There's still no score at the Rico between Coventry City and Oxford. Wimbledon lead Gillingham by 1-0. The Wombles fight for survival seems to be on track. Bradford losing 1-0 at home to Blackport. 1-1 between Rochdale and Scunthorpe. So that's the League 1 scores done and dusted. Everyone else is scoreless in that division. Flooded left by Brendan Bunn. Chest control by Valance. Finds a way past Gorman. In it goes from Valance. The slide by Tomlinson. I don't think he got anything on it, but that's with Haddo back in. Nodded clear by Gorman. Now the run of Tong. Trying to trick himself away. I don't think the whole ball was out of play there, but the referee has given the throw into United. Now Elaine. And a free kick against Elaine. Right on the fringe of the penalty area. We've got 15 minutes to go until half time. Wherever the highlights of today's game can be found tonight on our official YouTube channel, youtube.com/Coventry United TV. Please find all of your men's and women's footage for the Red and Greens this season. Dale returns it to Macmillan. it with the centre-back Alex Morris. Goes for the long-range option with Stephen Hart. Hart being held by Ison, manages to hold off the centre-back, turns looking for the shot. Tong calling for it at the far post. Hart goes alone, and a smart save by Bunn, keeping it at 1-0. And Tong will see it out for the corner. That powerful hit from Hart, kept out well by Bunn. Tong offering the short option. It looks like Maslin Jones is going to go for the conventional approach with this corner. In by Maslin Jones. Handball claims, referee says no, as it makes its way to the edge of the penalty area, now back into the midfield. And Dale nearly caught napping by Joe Cairns there. Had to work hard to keep the ball with Quorn. Now the chance of the cross by Morris, cannons off the heel of Jamal Clark, and out for a throw on the left-hand side of the penalty area. That goal has given Quorn a shed load of confidence as we head towards the closing minutes of the first half. The throw to Maslin Jones, turns away from Downs, holds off Musa. Maslin Jones, in it goes, offside flag. And the referee has said play on, with Bunn in possession of the ball. Looking to set up Keynes for the run. Keynes may well get there first, where it's beaten in the air by Morris. Pretty large size difference there between the two players. I don't think that was a battle that Keynes was ever going to win. But they have got the throw out of it. And looks like Ison's going to try the long throw again. It's not an awful lot of space for a run-up as the 4G pitch is caged off by the fencing. Look by the defender. He'll get onto the second. It's Morris with a headed clearance. Down goes Musa. Referee says no. It's intercepted in the centre circle by Ison. Well-timed side challenge by Howard. Centre out play for the Coventry United throw. The questions will be asked why the free kick wasn't given for Musa. Ison again, about 10 yards into Quorn territory. There goes the run up, there goes the throw. Met in the air by Dale. Maslin Jones will launch it away and allow Quorn to regroup and rearm at the back. Bunn receives it from Valance. Bunn taking his time and drills it away to the feet of Joe Cairns. Heavy first touch, but he evades Dale, looking to roll it down the right. But Tomlinson makes sure it doesn't reach Haddo. Now Hart looks for the through ball to Tong, and Valance is there to pick up the pieces, plays it back to Bunn, swiped away by the United number 1. And that will bounce into touch, deep into Quorn territory. Throw rolls off the chest of Dale. Challenged by Musa, now a lane. Space to the right for Joe Cairns. Cairns receives it from Holt. Slide in by Tomlinson. That will be a Coventry United throw. Kyle Barnett plays it short to Cairns. Barnett again looking for Haddo, but picked up by Morris and cleared. Clark skips away from Hart. Offside flag raised against Haddo. Another move comes to an end for Terry Anderson's side. Coming up to 10 minutes away from half-time. We will be going off there at half-time for a quick break. So look for the second live stream option on the Coventry United TV YouTube channel. Ryquist strolls away from his penalty area. Now Gorman. Back to Macmillan. We're not taking any undue risks here. They're in control of the scoreboard And at the moment, the game as well. Howard. He's caught up by Musa, has to stop his run. Dale. That's with Morris. Striding up from the back, Alex Morris. Maslin Jones. Looking for Tong on the right-hand side, cut out by Valance. Now Elaine. Valance making the overlapping run. Elaine shrugged to the ground, and the referee again says no. The arm into the back of Elaine. That could give Quorn the opportunity to break for a second. And it's easy pickings at the near post for Brendan Bunn from Richmond's effort. Richmond's getting them on target with no real power behind them as Downs slots it up the left. Valance. Now Elaine checks he's got space. He's got a little bit of space and plays it back to Valance. Haddo making the run in the area. Looking to ease his way behind Rydquist, but Rydquist clears and United will have the throw just through the CUTV camera on the halfway line. Ison back to Downs. Luke Downs wants options close. Haddo's there, couldn't find Haddo, cut out by Howard. Maslin Jones with a side foot through to Hart. Slide in by Ison, slows the move up, but Quorn will make a beeline for the net. It's Tong, squares it. And Richmond taken out by the slide of Ison. They didn't make it to Hart. About the penalty decision now. Well, Maslin Jones had a ticking off, and I think Hearts has had his say, so we are going to get underway again with Jake Holt on the free kick. Oh, we're going to have to wait a little bit longer as the referee still talking to Maslin Jones, who's making up a one-man wall. Made that two-man wall with Tong. Holt curls it towards the far post. Nodded away by Morris. Richmond will kickstart the counter with a surging run down the left. Chest control by Hart. Handball claims, and it is handball. Looked a little harsh. And the referee giving the free kick, and United will not ask any questions. Cairns under pressure from Gorman. Forced into touch by Nathan Dale. And at the moment, Quorn have had an answer for pretty much everything that United have thrown at them. One save from McMillan, from Joe Cairns. Pretty much all that Quorn have had to deal with. Handball claims as Ison sends it towards the chest of Hart. This time the referee says no, and Hart finds his way into the net. He's got Maslin Jones and Tong to his right, and now Richmond too. He's going to have to cross. He does cross, and Maslin Jones waiting for the ball to roll to him. He's caught by Holt. Clears it as far as Gorman. Quorn not giving up. They can smell that second goal, and Tong looks to provide it with a cross cannons off Valance for the corner. Five minutes until half-time. Quorn 1, Coventry United 0. The opening goal of the match coming from the number 7 Tong for Quorn. It's going to be another corner for Maslin Jones. Corner from Bradley Maslin Jones. Morris ducked. And Barnett will clear as far as Hart. Hart sends it back in. Haddo this time with the clearance. Fire his head. Nodded on by Elaine. And Downs beat Rydquist too, but a side in by Rydquist slows the United attack down. Musa. Going in from the side was Howard, but Musa holds him off. Holt lobs it right. Can Barnett bring it down? He can, and he shields it from Tomlinson. Cairns dispossessed from the side by Nathan Dale. Holt forces the ground by a leaping Howard. Chest control by Gift Mooser in the midfield, but Howard sends it to the left. Richmond looking for the cross. Well, I assume his target probably would have been Tong on the right hand side, so he didn't have the power behind it. It looked like he was heading behind Tong as well. Dale. Quorn with acres of space on the right hand side. Elaine races across to cover him off. Crossing towards Hart, headed by Ison. Elaine gets the seconds. Cairns ducking past Morris and nodded away from Tomlinson. Haddo with him in support. Cairns just trying to keep it in at this point and falls towards the halfway line again. He's got Downs with him, plays it to Clark, who shrugs up the challenge of Maslin Jones. Musa skips through the centre circle into a sea of red. Holt. Now over to Barnett. Here's Joe Kent. Barnett again. Trying to make his way around Richmond. Ball deflecting off Richmond's foot and into the Quorn dugout. Time running out for United before half time. Musa. Forced away from the box. Challenged by Dale. Sends it out for another United throw. Virtually the same position. Musa returns it to Barnett. Musa again. Challenging from the side by Ryan Richmond. Another free kick, throw-in I should say, for Coventry United. And this time the long throw expertise of Lewis Ison called upon for the Red and Greens. Here it goes from Ison. Elaine tried to nod it on. Cleared by Tomlinson as far as Maslin Jones. It was brought down in the penalty area. Maslin Jones clatters into Luke Downs. Referee says no foul. There was no attempt by Downs to make a challenge. Bounce across to Jamal Clark, who stayed up for the attack. Clark. Shot charged down by Dale. And now Tomlinson. Up one to Hart, who's moved out to that left wing. Elaine breathing down his neck and out of play off the boot of Kyle Barnett with the one-on-one challenge. Here goes the throw to Tong. Dale in the holding midfield role at the moment. We're going to go back into defence with Rydquist. Cairns there with him. Releases to Howard. Looking at Kurt to the left-hand side for Maslin Jones, but there's Barnett to intercept. United need to kickstart this counter here. A slow counter from Barnett. The ball played behind Holt, but the midfielder catches up to it. Haddo takes it around Gorman, and then the slide in by Rydquist and a turning Tyler Haddo. And Haddo remaining on the floor. No doubt Rydquist was going for the ball, but the turn from Haddo made it look worse. The son of Rydquist catching Haddo square on the heel. And a red card for Rydquist. Well, Haddo back on his feet. But one player who will be leaving the field is the Quorn centre-back, Jared Rydquist. I think without that turn from Haddo, he probably would have stayed on the field, but as Haddo turned the challenge, Rydquist slided in, connected with the heel of the United winger. And the red card brandished by Rydquist, who trudges over to the touchline. And now the referee is calling over another player, I believe, is he? Well, Quorn have a goal advantage, but United now have a man advantage. Can they put it to good use for the next 45 minutes? We're into added time now, so there won't be much United can do on this side of half-time. United will have one more chance before the break to find that equalising goal. Offside flag raised against Lewis Ison. And now there's a collision with Tyler Haddo and Lawrence Gorman. With Gorman holding his face, and the referee blows for half time. A rather eventful end to the half. The half-time score here on CUTV as we go off air. Quorn 1, Coventry United 0.